Good day, sirs and serviettes. Prestito here, your second favorite Uniswap ape. So Merry Christmas firstly to everyone. Hope you're all having a super pro day and hopefully making some pro gains over the festive season. Nothing better than that. So this is actually an overview video. I just want to do a quick update on everything and how things are going. And also a disclaimer. I want to kind of just give a disclaimer on my channel and then eventually go to some frequently asked questions. So in terms of the disclaimer, what I want to really emphasize with my channel is that you should not take it as investment advice, because I've seen some comments of people taking it as almost like I'm telling you, buy this, buy this, buy this. And firstly, if anyone ever says that, you should never listen to them. Always do your own research and decide for yourself. Secondly, like I said in my previous video, my channel and my goal from my channel is to help be a part of your research. So when you're looking up Royal Finance, for example, you can just watch my video, get all the information you need and maybe an opinion, and then you can also see for yourself. That's really all I want from my channel. I don't want to give advice as in like telling someone buy it. That's the last thing I want to do, and you know all the backlash you can get from that, and I know the backlash you can get from that, so I really want to avoid that. So I just wanted to make that very clear to everyone. So yeah, anyways, that's just my brief disclaimer. I hope that's all clear and clears up any questions regarding that maybe. But I think in the future videos I'll just add that again in the beginning, since sometimes, you know, some people don't get the message. So just as the quick overview, I just wanted to go through the past few weeks. So it's been like a month since I've made videos, so I just wanted to go over the past performance kind of. So these first I didn't actually make a video on. First one was actually on Uptown Panda, which did good initially, and then like most Uniswap coins, and like I say in most of my videos as well, the longevity is hardly ever there. Most of them will die off, which is why I also never recommend to buy on listing. So most of the time, if you buy and hold, you will get wrecked. For example, base protocol is an exception, but for you to get that is so rare that it's almost not even worth the risk. So I always suggest don't buy and hold for long term on Uniswap. That's just my opinion. So yeah, base protocol was insane, 100x. Then Piranha's actually, that was such a strange one, because I also invested in that and then it dumped. It took a minimal loss to get out, and then like 3 weeks later just had a random pump to like almost 2x. So yeah, it was really strange, but no one could really predict that. I mean, some people say a good play would be to buy it when it's completely dumped and wrecked, so your downside is minimal, and then just pray for a pump and then make a nice gain. So that's something to keep in mind. Then here we had some nice 1.5x if you sold quickly, and then afterwards it dumped like most coins. Then our base went up to 20x. That was actually my best performer that I actually managed to get in. But for that one, I didn't sell for 20x. This is just the peak. I sold around almost 10x. So obviously it's not the best feeling when you see it pump to 20x after you sold it for 10x. But remember, gains are gains, profits are profits, and just be happy with it and don't look back. That's one of my main strategies. Then we had some more nice gains, 3x. I put the re over here because Space Mine had a bug. Can happen. I always say whenever I rate them pro, for example, I always say that if there's a bug, just remember there could be bugs, which happens so often, and it wrecks so many coins that have potential. Like Space Mine has so much hype and potential, and then they had to have a bug and it got wrecked. Yield was a 3x. Again, that was the same scenario. You had to dump it on launch, and then it bled out. So that I actually sold for 2.5x. I managed to get in luckily. But if I waited longer, I would have been wrecked probably. Then here was some more 1.5x, 4x. These aren't really the latest figures, but this is when I recorded them at their kind of peaks. Sci-Fi did 6x at the peak. Mahada was really a nice winner. Again, you could only invest a little bit in that. But like I said also in a previous video, when you invest so little, the chance for big gains are even more. Because obviously people can't dump huge sums, and most people are likely to hold because it's so little anyways, might as well hold it. Then yeah, some more winners. Split was another one where it did good on launch and then it bled out. So that goes again, what I say is hardly ever buy on launch unless you're like 90% sure. And that's always based on your research. I'm just covering the pre-sales. So I think the coming weeks are going to be very interesting for Uniswap. There's so many pre-sales coming up. I've made a list. Like I said also in the last video, I'm not going to cover all of these. I just put them on because I'll research it and then I remove some of them. But I will be making a review on GGDApp. They just released their tokenomics, so that I'll do it day after Christmas. Obviously on Christmas I want to spend it with my family and, you know, just relax for the day. So yeah, that's just a brief overview on the past projects. So overall, if you manage to get in all of them and sell as it launched, then you'd have really, really nice gains. That's what I've been doing, and I say that often. That's what I kind of always do. Sometimes I regret when you sell a bit early and then it keeps pumping, like Mahadao, but you just take the gain and you don't look back. So yeah, that's just the overview. Then I wanted to go to some frequently asked questions that I've had in DMs and my comments. So first thing is my strategy. So in terms of my strategy, this I did cover briefly when I did the overview, is firstly, I sell early. That's what I personally do. I don't wait for a pump, even though sometimes that is the better play. It depends on which coin, obviously, but from what I've learned is if you keep a consistent plan and strategy with most of your plays, and it works, then keep doing it. And that's what I've been doing since season 1 of Uniswap. I mean, since season 1, I did 60x my whole portfolio, which is insane. And I did that by following one rule that I set for myself, and I've stuck to it. And that rule is I do the pre-sales only. Basically, that's all I do. Do the pre-sales, then sell as soon as possible if you're in a profit and don't look back. That's literally what I've been following. Some of my friends call me weak-handed, but the gains are there, so I'm weak-handed and proud, if you put it that way. But you know, there's sometimes some coins that are worth holding. I remember in season 1 there was MantraDAO, which I did hold for quite a while because that was actually a promising one that actually did moon eventually. And then eventually when it got to a nice price, then I sold and took the profits. I think it was like 50 cents I ended up selling it at. So basically that's my strategy, is when you're in a good profit, take the profit and don't look back. And most importantly, don't get attached to any coin ever. The funniest thing is I got attached to Link in 2017. I did the ICO, and that's actually the single exception that getting attached to a coin would have paid off, which is funny because out of all the coins I got attached to, it was Link, and I didn't end up holding that. So that's one regretty. That would have been like insane gains, but for 99% of the coins, don't get attached. So yeah, that's just my strategy. Then how do you find the pre-sales? That's a question I've been asked quite a lot. So the number one advice I can give in terms of doing pre-sales and finding out the pre-sales is build connections. For me, that's been so important to me in terms of my journey of Uniswap, is all the connections I've made with people, and you'll be amazed, you know, the really nice people you meet and such helpful people too. What I recommend is join groups on Discord, on Telegram, on Slack, wherever you can. Be active in the groups that you find the most promising. Meet people through there, chat and share ideas, and then, you know, DM people that you find cool or interesting, and then you know, chat to them. Lots of times in terms of the pre-sales, I find them by people DMing me and saying, hey, what do you think about this pre-sale? And you know, then I share ideas with them as well. But yeah, most of them actually are by being in these groups and seeing what people are talking about all the time. So that's really what I would recommend. Join groups and be active. Next question I get asked is when OnlyFans? It's a bit inappropriate, but if I was a hot whammon, maybe I would. But we'll see how Creaton does next year. Then we'll see. And then, okay, what does CAC mean? So CAC basically means not pro. So yeah, it's the opposite of pro, but CAC can also mean like very. So you can say something is CAC pro, so that means something is very pro. But if you just say CAC, that means not pro. So hopefully that makes sense. That's why I rate things pro or CAC. So it's pro or not pro. Then, okay, how to avoid losing money. This is I also get asked sometimes. So in order, that's a bit of a hard one to answer, and I can't really give an answer that, you know, it's accurate. But in terms of how I avoid risk, again, it comes to selling early and taking profit. I never FOMO into something. I personally would rather miss the moon, if it does moon, than risk FOMOing into something. Most of the time, you just get wrecked, and, you know, it's kind of investing with your emotions, and that's also something I don't recommend. If you're super angry, you just got wrecked on something, don't like rage into another coin and try and make gains, because that's also not going to end well. I mean, I see people that get wrecked or liquidated on a trade, and they make a rage 100x play to try and make it back, and then they just lose it again. So next one, how do I make pro gains in the gym? So the way I do it is I treat the gym like I treat Uniswap. You want to pump it as much as you can, so you have to do it like every day. So and if you want to make the most gains possible, you have to kind of do it with your full commitment and just pump it. So another thing to keep in mind is you need to track both. So you have a portfolio for gym and you have a portfolio for your Uniswap. So for gym, I recommend there's an app actually I use called 531. So it tracks your gains throughout, same as Blockfolio would do. So definitely use that. You'll see, in my opinion, you'll see results, because if you can't remember what you did the last time you trained, and if you can't see your progress, I mean, this app's so pro because it makes it like a graph of your gains, which is really pro. So yeah, you have to gym. You can't make gains on Uniswap if you don't make gains in gym. Everyone knows that. Next one is how your fingers so fast, because I tend to get into the Google whitelisting forms really quick, and you know, those speedy things. So best advice I can give is, if you play first person shooters over 1,000 hours, you'll know what I mean, and you will be one of these fast finger blokes. Secondly, if you go on the internet, there's a clicking game where you have to click like in 10 seconds as many times as you can. If you don't get at least 12 clicks a second, then you're not going to get in any whitelist. So I'm sorry to say that. So you better start practicing that. Just go on like speed clicking tests online and just like click as fast as you can, and try get 12 a second. That'll improve your chances of getting to whitelisting. Then another thing I do a lot, actually, some people say it's a bad habit, but if you're a Uniswap ape, you kind of have to do it, is like I fidget and crack my fingers. And the reason for that is I have to be ready to whitelist at any moment. So like if you keep clicking your fingers and fidgeting, like your hands stay nice and warm. So if you're like doing whatever and you see a notification, whitelist started, you're nice and fresh and you're ready and you're warmed up. So that's one thing I recommend. And also it fits the role of you being a Uniswap ape. I mean, you can't be a Uniswap ape and be calm. You're always nervous and on edge. And if you fidget, that means you're a Uniswap ape, and you should be proud of that. So yeah, that's pretty much all the kind of frequent questions I had. So hopefully this video was interesting and you maybe learned something, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of Christmas Eve and have a nice day tomorrow. And I'll be back on the 26th. I'll likely review GGDApp like I said earlier. And yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.